Titus 1:13-16. This is witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that may be sound in faith. When someone is erred in faith and spreading apostasy, first we should go to them, confront them one-on-one. And that's what it's talking about here. We need to tell them they're wrong, but we also need to show them the truth. We need to do this out of love, not hate. Now, there will be certain ones that won't listen to this. And because lies are so easily believed about weak in the faith, it needs to be, if it gets to that point, it needs to be expressed publicly, which also may be what it's talking about here. Sometimes people have to be broken down to really see the truth. Sometimes they build up themselves such an ego that they believe what they believe is truth. What everyone else believes is wrong. The truth is the word, not what people think, not what people feel. And some people need to be brought down to where they understand this. Now, all this is done out of love, not hate. It's done out of trying to show them that they need Jesus, which is out of love. If it wasn't, it could. The problem is, doing things like this out of love is something people often have trouble with. The thing is, if you can't do this out of love, God's not calling you to be the one to do it. It's that simple. Now, that doesn't mean the person won't engage in an argument. It just means you'll be above arguing. The truth is good enough to stand on its own. Either they can accept it or they can reject it. Verse 12. One of themselves, even a prophet of his own, said, the Cretans are always liars, evil beasts, and gluttoners. Okay, this is where that phrase Cretan comes from. It comes from this. A Cretan. It's a low life, it's somebody who's evil, despicable, It ain't often used much anymore. Okay. True prophets are always called from God. And a true prophet never tells a prophecy that isn't true, that doesn't come fulfilled. If they proclaim a prophecy that isn't fulfilled, then they are not a true prophet of God. If they are not proclaiming God's word, they're not a true prophet of God. If they're bringing glory to themselves and not to God, they're not a true prophet of God. Many times today, people bring glory, but the focus and the glory is on them and not on God. These people probably are not very genuine. I'm not going to judge them. They may be. But I have to think, when I come to do something such as teaching, I feel I feel proud that the Lord can use me. Not, what, I know it's Him using me, Him giving me the opportunity. But there's some, like this man, who claimed to be a prophet, and he may have been right about the Cretans. For example, the term Cretan, like I mentioned, There had to be some truth for that to stick. Now the church should have not been like it. The prophet probably also, the false prophet here, probably also had prejudice that allowed him to come to that too. Saying all creators. Well, not all anybody is anything. Unless it's just a few people, that might be true. But this is a whole nation, whole area, over 100 some people probably. They're not all anything. So prejudice crept in. We shouldn't make judgments off prejudice, first of all. And secondly, these are the people we need to seek out as a church. Because if someone's living right as the world proclaims it, they ain't gonna see their need for Jesus. But if they're living despicable lives, and they want out, they may see their need for Jesus. They may see the things they're doing, disgusted with themselves. They come to the knowledge of Jesus. Now, it ain't always easy coming to people that you know have been despicable, doing evils. But oftentimes, because their need for the Lord is strong, they'll come to Him. Remember, look at Paul. He's a sinner among sinners. When he saw the light, he received it. Okay. "13. This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be in sound faith." It's better to offend somebody by the word than it is to spread a lie to make them feel good. Too many times there's feel-good preachers out there. You know what? I'd rather teach the word than care about people's feelings. Yes, I care about their opinion. I don't want to hurt their feelings. But when it comes to the word, I'm teaching it. They can take it, they can leave it. They can accept it, they can reject it. But the word is what I believe. And the word stands stronger than what they feel. And if you have to hurt a few feelings to save a few souls by the word, and by preaching the word, you need to do it. Even if you are not saving, if the Lord is not saving souls, you might want to consider what you're doing, but the Lord's still calling you to do that. You need to preach the word regardless. There's too many times people want to make their congregation bigger, so they do this, they do that. They do anything except for put more focus on the Lord. They put focus on other activities, which other activities are good. I like times of fellowship better than just about as much as anybody. But if it's just fellowship, that's all we do. There's never no teaching, there's never no worship. That ain't a true church. Because why there should be fellowship, the fellowship we should have is together is because of Him and our connection to Him.